Hey, like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so August 12th, 2020, Velveteen Dream returns from his hiatus, which is apparently him being investigated for sex crimes against children or underage youth. For the people who don't know, the Velveteen Dream was during the whole speaking out engagement. He was accused again of having sex, or not having sex with, but sending nude pictures and sending inappropriate messages to underage boys who were apparently 15 or 16 years old. Now, these screenshots that were posted online were completely out of context. Nobody knows what the hell any of that was about. The speaking out engagement, which was over a month ago, was the second time he had been accused, but it was the same pictures and it was the same conversation essentially. So it could have been somebody basically just copying the first accusation, but we don't know. The bottom line is, man, this stuff is being made public, but the investigations are not public, and none of this stuff should be public in the first place. It doesn't make any sense to put people through all this stuff. But the important thing here is that a lot of people have flipped their lids because Velveteen Dream returned. So that's what I want to talk about today. If you want to hear my thoughts on the Velveteen Dream and his escapades with children or whatever, I'm going to post the video of the original thing below, and I'm going to post the video I did on speaking out. I'm gonna put both of those in the description of this video, just for people who are new to the channel, and maybe you want to hear my trash audio talk about those subjects. But I want to talk about something actually completely different. So today, I mean, when you look at people's response on the internet, people have said, well, WWE is obviously going to cover this up like they covered up the murders of Jimmy Snuka. And this is the damage that the Vice documentary has done. Because the Vice documentary, when they did the documentary on Jimmy Snuka, they did not do their completely due diligence. They built an entire story based on the medical examiner from that particular time period, but only on one of the medical examiner's comments, which is that it was obviously a homicide and this thing should be investigated as a homicide. And then they claim that they really didn't do an investigation. But nobody in Vice asked for any physical evidence that anybody had done anything. They also did not look at the medical examiner's report that there was simply no evidence in which to charge Superfly Snuka with anything. The only evidence that they have is, well, he has inconsistent reports of what took place. You know, he says that she slipped and fell one of these times. Then he says that, something else happened some other time. That's their evidence, is that, oh, you told two different stories. It's like, no, there should be blood. There should be fingerprints. There should be X, Y, and Z all over in the room or whatever. They didn't do that evidence. They didn't ask those questions. So Vice has done a lot of damage to the Superfly Snuka story. Even though I'm more in the camp of, I believe Superfly Snuka did it, I am also more in the camp of, you need to do your due diligence, because people are falsely accused of shit. Okay, you need to make sure that people have actually done something, or there is enough evidence for them to be arrested. If there is no evidence for them to be arrested, then we kind of have to move on. They have to be able to move on with their lives. Now, sometimes people do beat the rap. Some like an O.J. Simpson situation where somebody beat the case. It happens, but at least they should have the opportunity to defend themselves. And if you don't have any evidence, we have to just move on. We can't live with this forever. But the Superfly Snuka thing did bring up, obviously, like I said, people were saying like, well, WWE is known for covering up this sort of stuff. They're going to cover it up, and because he's one of their guys. And it's like, well, number one is Velveteen Dream is black. And I've been told by pretty much every wrestling fan from near and far that WWE is racist. So how did you square that they're covering up the sex crimes of a black wrestler in a racist company? Figure that part out. Okay, figure that out. When you figure that out, let me know. When you figure out how a racist company is covering up the sex crimes of a black wrestler, please let me know. Let me know. If they were racist, they would be looking for reasons to get rid of them, right? They would be actually chomping at the bit, like, yes, one less nigger to get rid of. Get rid of them. They didn't do that. Obviously for a reason. It's not because Velveteen Dream is some big fucking draw. He's not Hulk Hogan. He's not John Cena. He's a guy in developmental. like, let's be honest. I mean, he does have star quality. He does have star power, but he's not a huge star to the point where if he does something stupid, we need to, smooth it over. That doesn't make any sense. No, he doesn't have that much pull with the audience. Doesn't have that much pull in society. They would not do that. That's stupid. Another thing I saw was a lot of people saying like, well, you've got 150 workers in there banging on the plexiglass, all these people who, deserve an opportunity. Why would you go back to Velveteen Dream? And I would say, well, look, Velveteen Dream has star quality. He has character. He has personality. These people, all these other people, doesn't matter who they are not the Velveteen Dream. People are not interchangeable. This is part of the whole socialistic way of thinking. And you'll find it often in SJWs, is they believe people are interchangeable, that you can just remove one person and plug in another and it's just as good and it's just the same. It's like, no. Those people, if you have 1,000 wrestlers and one Hulk Hogan, you go with the one Hulk Hogan, because the one Hulk Hogan may draw more than most of the 100,000 wrestlers that you have, because he's an individual. He stands out. He's special among the group. And that's kind of how Velveteen Dream is. Now, is he Hulk Hogan? No, but he has potential and he's young. He's only like 23 or 24 years old. We don't know what he could be. And these people are maybe, looking at it and saying, we're not going to derail the guy's career due to some accusations that may or may not have happened. People are not cogs in the machine, even though, and then the crazy thing is people are actually upset when WWE does that, when they just look at people as cogs in the machine. They say, no, his guy's going to be a star. Like, well, that's weird. So it's all weird. Like, the amount of people I see with Black Lives Matter, and they're talking about this black wrestler in this racist company, yet the racist company is protecting them, is absolutely laughable. People talking like the Velveteen Dream is Hulk Hogan, like he's fucking Bruno Sammartino, like one of the top draws in the business. And that's why they're covering up for him. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Velveteen Dream is not that big of a star. He is a big star for NXT, I suppose. And then he was brought back and didn't win. He lost. So it was really bizarre that, this conversation around Velveteen Dream is really weird. It's really toxic. And it really shows that we have, as a society, even though it's always been that way, because you can go back through other types of allegations and people will take it seriously and it will burn like fire and then it will burn out. Or it would be something that would take place in, like Joe Biden. Hell, the guy who's running for president against Trump. Hell, Trump himself. Both of them have been accused of sexual misconduct by various other women. That shit comes and goes. It's just people accuse people of things. There's no evidence and people move on. Even if there is evidence, people still move the fuck on. Like, people did not do any investigation into the whole Joe Biden. This guy's trying to run the country, and we're not going to do any investigation into, whether he really did do something to this young lady 20 some odd years ago. We're not going to look into that. We don't really care. It was all just a political stunt anyway to keep him from winning, and he still won. Just like the whole thing with Trump, just like the whole thing with Kavanaugh, just like the whole thing with Clarence Thomas. There's never, the accusation is made public. The investigation isn't. We just look and say, well, nothing becomes of it. What somebody went out there and said words. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Somebody said words. And, in this situation, somebody said words and posted the pictures, but we don't know. Again, those pictures that happened during the speaking out engagement, those pictures were public. I could have downloaded those pictures and then posted them. Anybody could have done that. So, and then the previous video, we don't know. I mean, the previous situation, not only were they the same pictures and the same vocal thing, but we also don't know how that person came to come in contact with him, or whether also don't know the context of the situation in which it occurred. Right? We don't know if he was talking to this person for real, or if somebody picked up his voice from something else. We don't know. And ultimately, you are innocent until you're proven guilty. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. That's just the facts of what it is. He's innocent until proven guilty. And nobody has yet to prove him guilty. People are just on a moral high horse because it costs nothing to be wrong on the internet. If you're wrong about Velveteen Dream, you're not going to lose anything. You know, you don't lose anything. Nobody's going to bother you. You don't get badgered for spreading false information one way or the other. So people can just throw whatever opinion they want out there. But people need to stop with the lies, man. Stop with the whole they're going to cover it up because he's some big star. That's bullshit. He's not that big of a star. You know, but you know, please find somebody who says WWE is racist because they don't have enough black world champions, and then you got this black dude, and you know they're covering up sex crimes for him, even though MVP was a fucking violent felon and Booker T were violent fucking felons, and WWE hired both of them. You know, I would actually, I mean, and it's proof. Hell, both of them have admitted that they did these armed robberies, but they were also kids, man. You know, it was stupid. It was stupid things that they did. And people were able to move on. Velveteen Dream, even though it's only been like 2 or 3 months, he needs to be able to move on. He has an entire life ahead of him. Again, the dude is younger than 25, as far as I know. You know, I'm going to assume he didn't do anything because, again, publicly traded company is not going to take that risk on a guy where something is going to pop up later that he really did do it. It just doesn't make any sense. But like this video, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.